right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook.
All right, thanks a lot, Ken, and thank you for tuning into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, powered by FanDuel Sportsbook. You can give us a call tonight. 412-575-2600 is the number on the Borders and Borders hotline, and you can get on the phones right now. I'm Rich Walsh. I'll be joined by Chris Muller here in a matter of seconds on the other side at the 93.7 The Fan Cam, and we have a lot to talk about, Chris, tonight, including what is going to happen with the Big Ten tomorrow. There's another meeting, and an official announcement is expected to come out tomorrow. Do they delay? Do they cancel? Earlier today, it looked like they were going to cancel, and it was 12-2 vote, according to some reports out there. But lately, things have changed, and I don't know if it's pressure from the coaches, the students, social media, or actually talking to doctors and health experts, but it seems like it's going in the other direction right now, and it might be delayed or, more time to talk about things. What do you think's going to happen tomorrow?
I had an interesting theory put to me by a friend who's not in the sports business, has no connections, just is a deep thinker type who sort of considers all situations and options and what have you. I think it was Dan Patrick's show where this story first broke, that it was 12 out of the 14 schools, all but Iowa and Nebraska. The presidents were saying, hey, we're going to cancel. And only after that story broke did all of this momentum get built up to actually play the season. Coaches, players, entire programs seemingly coming out in unison and saying we want to play. And this person told me, what if this was a strategic and deliberate leak to almost get momentum building for the other side of this? And I couldn't dismiss it out of hand. Like, if you say it's going to be gone and everyone gets worked up about it, more so than they would have been without this kind of an announcement, maybe you build momentum towards it actually happening, or at least towards saying we're going to delay, consider our options, and then move forward. I don't know if that's what happened, but it's impossible to predict this. You ask me what's going to happen tomorrow, I don't know. I think delay. I don't think they're going to cancel it, but 15 hours from now, who knows? Because this story has changed about 3 or 4 times since late Sunday night into Monday morning. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous at this point.
Before I ask you what they should do, this goes right in line with what Jared, our producer, and I were talking about today. Social media has such power nowadays, it can sway people the other way, sway leagues almost. It's amazing what social media and what the media can do. And I think that sometimes maybe these presidents, athletic directors, organizations might look too much into it instead of making what is the right decision. And I don't know what the right decision here is, but they're swayed by public opinion.
Well, they shouldn't be, because they're entrusted with the welfare of the student athlete here, which, by the way, student athlete versus, say, employee, where you could bargain protections to make sure this goes off without a hitch, is a huge part of this debate, but it's probably one that's best kept for another day until they decide what to do. Let's be honest, though, about one thing. I mean, a lot of us, most of us, if you're watching this show, you probably like college athletics, college football. You probably enjoy that Saturday sort of pageantry. For the people at the very top of the heap here, like you talked about school presidents, athletic department higher-ups, athletic directors, this is a money game. There stands to be a lot of money left on the table if these games aren't played. And so while those presidents might have been motivated to say one thing, I don't think their hearts were in it this morning. I think all of the power brokers involved here would absolutely rather play these games, rather find a way to do it. And if the players are starting this "we want to play" hashtag, that just plays more into it.
Did you see Joe Burrow's tweet today? Talking about...
I did not, actually. I try to avoid all things Bengals whenever I can.
Well, that's probably a good idea. But he tweeted out today that, he thinks they should play because if he didn't play last season, he said he might be out looking for a job right now.
Yeah, he's like the perfect sort of crystallization of the most interesting case here as far as players that want to play and improve their draft stock. I don't think he'd have been out on the street. I think he'd have been a 5th, 6th round pick type guy. I think maybe a 4th. But obviously he vaults all the way to number 1 and makes himself tens of millions of dollars of guaranteed money in the process. Outside of, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, probably Micah Parsons, frankly, and a handful of other guys. Penei Sewell is a big offensive lineman from Oregon who's going to go high in this draft. There are a lot of players who are either going to play their way into getting drafted, play their way up a few rounds, or in some cases play their way from maybe the back of the first round to the top 10. And so I can understand why some of these guys, or most of these guys, have a serious vested interest in trying to get more game tape down, because it could end up, making them what? 8 figures in some of these cases, setting them up even with $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $700,000 on a rookie contract that first year. That'll be completely different than, I don't know, working at like a car rental company in the assistant manager training program.
No question about that. Neither one of us are medical experts. And before we go to break, I just want to get your opinion on what do you think they should do? Should everyone just try to play, or would you push everything back?
I mean, I think I would push everything back a little bit, at least a couple of weeks, and I would seriously consider spring football, because if the appeal of college football is that it's really the schools, and yes, people turn out for the marquee players, but it's the schools and the pageantry and the alma mater stuff that people care about, I would try to play in the spring. Have you noticed what the NFL is doing right now? Floating plans about maybe, keeping an eye on this, playing games on Saturday, what have you, even Fridays. If the NFL starts extending its schedule to the time usually occupied by college football, I got bad news for college football. People aren't going to miss it as much as they think they will if there's 3 NFL games on a Saturday, for example. People will watch those games. So I would at least consider pushing this back to the spring.
Yeah, I want to get more into that after the break. We got to take a break right now. Back in a couple minutes with your phone calls. 412-575-2600 is the number on the Bordas and Bordas hotline. Stay right there.